One man rewrote the laws of the universe. His mind pierced the very fabric of reality. He uncovered secrets so profound they reshaped the destiny of science, faith, and human history itself. But behind the legend of genius lies a story shrouded in obsession, betrayal, and dangerous mysteries he never intended the world to see. This is the untold story of Isaac Newton, the man who saw what no one else could and changed the world forever. England, 17th century, a world torn between superstition and discovery. Wars raged, empires rose and fell. And in the quiet corners of dusty libraries, a new age of knowledge was beginning to stir. It was an era where science was dangerous, where faith and reason clashed, and where ideas could change everything or destroy their creator. And in this fragile, uncertain world, a child was born in a storm. A boy who was not expected to survive. A boy who would grow to unlock the hidden forces of nature. Gravity, motion, light, and yet, secretly, chase forbidden knowledge of alchemy, prophecy, and the mysteries of the divine. His name was Isaac Newton, and his story is far stranger and far more dangerous than the legend you've been told. Before we unravel the secrets of Newton's genius, if you love uncovering the untold stories of history's greatest minds, make sure you subscribe to History Vault. Join us on this journey through time, where every mystery hides a truth waiting to be revealed. In the winter of 1642, as England tore itself apart in civil war, a storm descended upon the small village of Woolsthorpe. In a modest farmhouse, a child was born so small, so fragile, that the midwives believed he would not live through the night. That child was Isaac Newton. His father had died 3 months before his birth. His mother, unable to imagine this frail infant surviving, prepared herself for loss. Yet Newton clung to life, a tiny, unremarkable boy who would one day shape the destiny of the world. From the beginning, Newton's life was marked by isolation. When he was only 3 years old, his mother remarried, leaving young Isaac behind to live with his grandmother. That wound, the abandonment of his mother, never truly healed. The boy became withdrawn, solitary, and consumed by the world within his mind. Unlike other children, who played in fields and chased games, Newton turned to silence, scribbling strange notes and building odd contraptions with wood and tools. Even as a boy, he displayed the obsession that would define him. He carved sundials into the walls of his home, tracking time with precision. He built miniature windmills powered by mice and kites carrying lanterns that frightened neighbors at night. To others, he was odd, awkward, almost possessed. But within that strangeness burned something rare, a mind unwilling to accept the ordinary. As he grew older, England was ravaged by plague. Cambridge University, where Newton was studying, was forced to close. The young scholar returned to Woolsthorpe, isolated in his childhood home, surrounded by silence and fear. Yet this isolation became his crucible. While the world outside suffered, Newton's imagination caught fire. Alone in his room, he began sketching new mathematical ideas that would become calculus. He experimented with prisms, watching light explode into colors across his walls. And then, one day, as legend tells us, he saw an apple fall. The apple did not strike him on the head, as stories later embellished. But in that moment of falling fruit, Newton's mind grasped something extraordinary. Why should the apple fall down and not sideways or upward? Was there an invisible force that pulled it to the earth? And if so, could that same force hold the moon in its orbit and the planets in their eternal dance around the sun? This simple, ordinary moment, an apple tumbling to the ground, became the seed of a revolution. Newton had glimpsed what no one before him had dared to imagine, that the same invisible laws governed both earth and the heavens. But this was only the beginning. Newton's isolation had birthed questions that would soon give rise to answers capable of reshaping the universe. In 1666, the years that Newton would later call his annus mirabilis, his miracle year, the world changed forever. While the plague forced thousands into fear and retreat, Newton created theories that would outlive empires. He asked questions others feared to ask. What invisible hand pulled the moon across the heavens? Why did objects fall with the same acceleration, whether a stone or an apple? Could light itself be broken, revealed as something more than a divine glow? In his notebooks, Newton unleashed answers that shook the foundations of science. He discovered calculus, the mathematics of change, the very language of motion. Though a bitter feud with the German mathematician Leibniz would later erupt over its invention. The truth remains, Newton had conceived it in silence, giving humanity the tools to measure the unmeasurable. But calculus was only the beginning. With careful thought and relentless experimentation, Newton uncovered the laws that bound the cosmos. His first law of motion declared that an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion, unless acted upon by a force. His second revealed that force equals mass times acceleration. A simple, devastatingly powerful formula that governs every push, every strike, every movement. His third, that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, unlocked the balance of nature itself. With these laws, the chaos of movement became order. The trajectory of cannonballs, the arc of falling stones. The very spin of planets could be predicted. The universe, once ruled by superstition and mystery, was now illuminated by reason. And then came his most earth-shattering idea, the universal law of gravitation. The same force that pulled the apple down kept the moon circling the earth, and the planets tethered to the sun. The heavens and the earth were not separate realms, but one vast stage governed by the same invisible power. Newton had united the cosmos. Yet genius rarely comes without enemies. Robert Hooke, a rival scientist, accused Newton of stealing ideas. The feud between them grew bitter, filled with insults and accusations. Later, when Gottfried Leibniz published his own version of calculus, the war of intellects turned savage. Newton, brilliant but thin-skinned, could not forgive, could not forget. His mind that could hold the universe in equations was also consumed by pride, suspicion, and a need to dominate. Still, no rival could dim the light of his discoveries. By the time he published his philosophy, Naturalis Principia Mathematica, in 1687, Newton had given the world a framework that defined science itself. Every modern physicist, every astronomer, every engineer would stand on the shoulders of this one man. The man who saw what others could not. But while the world celebrated Newton as the rational genius who explained the universe, few knew of the secret life he lived in shadows. Behind the polished image of Newton the scientist was another man, secretive, restless, and obsessed with mysteries that science could not explain. While he unlocked the laws of nature, he also filled thousands of pages with writings on alchemy. He believed metals could be transformed, that hidden formulas might unlock the philosopher's stone, the mythical substance that could turn lead into gold and grant eternal life. Newton spent nights in his laboratory inhaling dangerous fumes, mixing substances in secret experiments. He recorded his findings in codes and symbols, terrified others would steal or misunderstand his knowledge. To the outside world, he was the rational father of science. In private, he was an alchemist chasing immortality. But Newton's obsessions did not end with alchemy. He turned to prophecy, poring over biblical texts, convinced that hidden within the scriptures were clues to the end of the world. He calculated dates, interpreting visions from the book of Daniel and Revelation. To him, science and faith were not enemies. They were two halves of a single truth. Yet these writings remained hidden for centuries, locked away, as if too dangerous for his reputation to endure. And there was another side still, Newton the enforcer. As warden of the Royal Mint, he hunted counterfeiters with ruthless precision. He tracked them, interrogated them, and sent many to the gallows. The man who unlocked the secrets of the stars also pursued criminals in London's dark alleys. To his peers, Newton appeared stern, humorless, consumed by his work. Few ever pierced the veil of his inner life. He never married, never formed deep friendships. His true companionship was with ideas, with the endless mysteries he could never stop unraveling. When Newton died in 1727, he was buried with honours in Westminster Abbey, a place reserved for kings and queens. The frail child born in a storm had become history's greatest scientist. His name became legend. His discoveries became the foundation of the modern world. Yet the paradox of Newton endures. He gave us the laws of motion, the key to gravity, the light of optics. He made the universe calculable, predictable, rational, and yet, in the shadows, he chased dreams of alchemy and prophecy, mysteries beyond reason. His genius was both clarity and obsession, order and chaos. Even now, centuries later, Newton remains an enigma. Was he the father of modern science? The rational genius who defined the universe? Or was he something stranger? A man haunted by secrets, obsessed with forces unseen, driven by visions that blurred the line between science and magic? What cannot be denied is this: Isaac Newton changed the world forever. His mind pulled the heavens down to earth. His vision revealed the hidden machinery of reality itself. And in doing so, he gave humanity the power to rise higher, to reach farther, and to imagine more than ever before. Isaac Newton revealed the hidden order of the universe, yet he also left behind questions cloaked in secrecy, obsessions that blurred the line between science and the supernatural. He proved that nature obeys laws. But what of the mysteries that refuse to be explained? For every law he uncovered, another enigma emerged, one that still haunts humanity. And beyond Newton's brilliance lies another story, another secret, waiting to be unearthed.